Hi guys, I'm sorry I'm late. This computer's doing my. Hi guys, I'm sorry I'm late. This computer's doing my head in. Right. I know the qualifying session just started, but join us as we find out to see who can qualify on pole in this very, very decisive weekend in the championship. Right. Like I said, the session's just started, and I'm sorry I'm late, guys. But anyway, um, hi Chris. Hope you're well. If anyone wants to join, here's the link. Obviously, it's a pivotal weekend in the championship. Basically, Bottas has to finish first. He has to outscore Hamilton by 8 points, and basically that means if Hamilton finishes second, right, then he's world champion. To be honest, Bottas has to outscore Hamilton. Simple as that. But look at this. Qualifying today is a new relayed surface circuit. So there's it's very slippery on the new first they found on Friday, but not as well as the temperature's been cold. But the qualifying is a wet qualifying. They've been raining overnight. Yeah, like I said, industry qualifying with wet conditions. So that's just going to make it 10 times harder. I mean, even Verstappen on the outlap has been struggling. Some have gone on wets, some have gone on intermediates. Hamilton and Bottas are both on wets. Verstappen's on intermediates, and they are struggling. They are struggling to get any grip whatsoever. But yeah, so very, 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 very slippery. So we'll have to see and find out who can master the conditions. And these are the sort of conditions that obviously Hamilton excels at, let's be honest. Right. So yeah. Yeah, I will actually ask to see if anyone wants to join us. But feel free to join in the live stream. If you want to come on the show, by all means. I'm quickly. And there's apparently more rain on its way. So yeah, by all means, this is. So yeah, just quickly. I'm so late today. I couldn't sleep last night. Had another nightmare. Um. Uh. I, I don't know what is. Apparently the race should be dry tomorrow, but the weather can easily change. Yeah, obviously it's the problem is today is that you've got it. Bahrain is okay, but places like Turkey and mostly Europe, it's this time of year. Obviously, it's getting colder. So you found that out in Nurburgring. We found that out in Portimao. So, but they said unlike Portimao, where it'd been resurfaced, like this surface has been this new surface that they've done is far more slippy. And look at that, it has just in front of Albon just drifts. It just slides. Yeah, and they are seriously. I mean, on four wets, it's not exactly like it's like buckets of water on the track either. So I mean, look, the Albon have gone wide now. It's how are they getting lap times? They're going to get lap times in. I don't know, right? And they said some drivers are going to be struggling to if you get it right in some areas and you manage to stay on the line throughout the lap, you could aim up 2 seconds on other people, right? But yeah, so it's oof. And the thing is as well, they've done this at like 11:30, like 12 o'clock in the evening. So which is weird because Turkey, they're getting dark now. They're getting really dark. So there could be if anyone has an off and hits a barrier or anything, which is very likely in these conditions, we can. Are they going to be able to complete the qualifying, especially with the light that there is at the minute, and how visible it is? We don't know. So whether it's the race tomorrow, and I will be live for that, and I'll make sure I'll be live for that and early because it will be 9:30 in the morning. I think that race starts. I thought there was nothing wrong with the old service of the track, but yeah, I mean, the FIA have certain sort of limits you can have up to that in terms of bumps and stuff. So maybe over time it's just got because we ain't raced this since 2011, and it used to be and it is a really good circuit. Turn 8 is what it's renowned for. Herman Tilke built it, who's like the king of building F1 circuits. Um, but yeah, there's Vettel in his diversity helmet. Um, for this weekend. So yeah, I'll give you some news. Perez is looking at a sabbatical as obviously the F1 seats are drying up. So which is a shame because Perez is a good driver. Yes, he didn't make the full opportunity in McLaren, but then I feel that he was wrongly taken away from that. I would feel like the car was already poor, right, and he was competing with Button quite happily, to be honest. I didn't think there was a lot he did wrong. But then he was replaced next season by, or even yeah, the next season by Kevin Magnussen. So yeah, I mean, slit or copy. Oh, look at that! The Renault is struggling. It's just right. And then look, Ocon's fastest with a 2:06, and they were looking at mid 30s, and Bottas is 8 tenths behind. Stroll is 1.3. Hamilton 1.4. Oh, and a spinner by an AlphaTauri. How are they going to get any confidence? Um, I So yeah, and I mean going around turn 8 now, and Pierre Gasly is just understeering and barely. Sorry, he's barely touched. Perez is such good. Yeah, his first race, I think it was 2011, right? The last season on here was we were in this circuit, and there's a red flag. The session's been stopped because of the rain. And I don't think they're going to get this done. I don't think they're going to get this done. So this is going to be a very, very, very quick stream because that it's getting darker, the rain's getting heavier. I don't see them finishing it this week for this race until the morning. So if that's the case, I will literally just copy and paste the stream and redo it. um, Yeah, because usually if they can't do it today, they'll do it in the morning. They've done that in Japan a numerous times. I think Austin, I think they did it as well. But yeah, I will give you news whilst I'm at it. So whilst we wait for a decision, yeah, I mean, being honest, these with these conditions, it's so easy to spin off and have an accident. It really is. But then the car they're going are fast enough to have an accident, to be honest. So, but yeah, what I will do is I'll give you some news in the F1 news at the minute. So Verstappen top three, all three practice sessions. Now, in terms of Bottas, that doesn't go well because obviously he has to outscore Hamilton by 8 points. So you want to finish first, right? Unless obviously Hamilton retires or comes 10th or something like that. But because I've worked it out, they saying like you have to outscore them by 8 points. Actually, it's only 7 to be honest for Hamilton, because 7 points puts them level. If he gains 7 points here and failed to finish in both races in the Bahrain and the Sakir race at the same circuit, a bit like Austria, then you've got Abu Dhabi is the last race, and that if Hamilton doesn't finish in any of those races, it puts them level on points. But because Hamilton's won more races, he still wins the championship. So it's at the minute the way it looks like, and with the competition the way it is, it looks inevitable. To be honest, obviously the major news story this weekend is the provisional race calendar for next season. Now, obviously, given the COVID and everything like that, this is pretty provisional. There's one yet to be confirmed, round 4, which I think is the Vietnamese Grand Prix. We're still waiting to hear, apparently, from that because they haven't had a chance to have their race this season, obviously. And apart from that, you've then got Saudi Arabia. So what I will do is I'll bring up the provisional calendar. So it should be on their website or on their app, but probably it won't. Right, especially when I'm live on air. But yeah, so racing latest technical. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look this up. So this is, and there's also another debate because of this extra races, and I'd love to get your thoughts and opinions on this, right? And I'll give you what it is in a minute. So the 2021 calendar, you've got Australia obviously starts the season on the 21st of March. The season then ends at the 5th of December with Abu Dhabi. Then you've got Bahrain a week after Australia. 2 weeks later is China. And another 2 weeks later is the race that's still to be confirmed. And just quickly, it should be the Vietnamese Grand Prix they're debating about. Oh no, it has been dropped. Yeah, it's been dropped for some reason. Yeah, dropped. Find out on Sky Sports. Hanoi Street Circuit will not feature for 2021 as the calendar is released. So 22 venues have been planned, including Brazil's Interlagos, with the possibility of 23 if Vietnam's replaced, which is a shame because I'd like to, that yeah, it's a shame because that race. I mean, I played it on the game. It's a very, very, very fast and but also really sort of sorry, itching like hell. Um, yeah, there's some really sort of technical corners to go with that. Uh, Kavir said it in practice. I get more grip on ice. Yeah, that's what a lot of drivers have been saying. Do you think next season's calendar could be the same as this season's calendar? Having two races in the same country like we did in Austria, I think it all depends on the COVID. Yeah, that is just going to be just depending if races have to be cancelled, like it was done this season, race after race after race after race. That was it. The only reason they put it two races in the same circuit in the same country, just with different names, because you can't really call it the same by the same name. So say like we used to have Nurburgring and Hockenheim, but Nurburgring was called the European Grand Prix. Same as like when they did Valencia and Catalonia, again it was called the European Grand Prix in Valencia and the Spanish. Um, yeah, it was obviously it was cancelled because of the COVID, but the decision to drop it is understood to be linked to political issues in the country. So that's probably why. So if they can sort those issues out, then maybe it'll come back for the next season. But like I said, I will give you the rest of the calendar. So yeah, that will be to be confirmed 25th of April. If not, then it will be the 9th of May, the Spanish Grand Prix, which is again subject to contract, so still to be confirmed. But it looks pretty much like it is going to happen. Same as with the Brazilian Grand Prix. I mean, how can we not have a race without a season without the Brazilian Grand Prix in Interlagos? But yeah, I mean, you've got Monaco after Spain on the 23rd of May, Azerbaijan on the 6th of June, so another 2 weeks later. And then Canada a week later in Montreal. 2 weeks later, we're in France. Then Austria is on the 4th of July. Then 18th of July is the British Grand Prix, which is around about the right time. It's probably a little late, but with the amount of races there is this season, planned for that season, it's just about doable. Yeah, so yeah, right. So sorry, excuse me. 1st of August, which is 14 days later after British Grand Prix, is the Hungarian Grand Prix. Then it's obviously the summer break during August. 29th of August, we will come back to for Belgium. Then the Netherlands, instead of being the 5th race on the calendar, it's now the 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. Hang on, 23, 22, 21, 20. 20, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 50. Be the 14th Grand Prix. Sorry, I couldn't count. Yeah. Then you've got, obviously, I'll come to those comments in a minute. Then you've just finished this off. 12th of September, Italy, then Russia, before the Singapore Grand Prix on the 20, which is the second. Yeah, so you've got 26th of September, Russia at Sochi, then Singapore on the 3rd of October. The 10th of October is the Japanese Grand Prix. 24th is then the USA Grand Prix. And then the 30th, the 31st, or my birthday weekend, is the Mexican Grand Prix. What I notice is with that is that both Mexico and the USA, they switch. So 1 minute is one season it's before, and then one season it's before and after. So yeah, Brazilian Grand Prix, which is obviously subject to contract, on the 14th of November. Then 28th of November, Saudi Arabia, the new one at Jeddah. Then the 5th of December will be finished off at Abu Dhabi. So that's the the proposed calendar for next year, barring everything doesn't escalate with COVID or anything like that. Chris, I hope Monaco stays as my favourite Grand Prix in real life. I hate it on the game, of course. I hate it on the game, of course. I hope Brazil stays as they were champions normally crowned. Yeah, it depends how tight the championship is at the minute. Obviously, being towards the end of the season, it's usually that. But obviously, it's the last few seasons, no one's been able to keep up with Hamilton's relentless drive to be able to have the title wrapped up by Austin and Mexico, which is obviously going to be more difficult because there's more races to come after that. So, yeah, Brazil could be the right time this time. So, it probably hosted what was the most dramatic championship wins ever in any motorsport, let alone F1. I mean, Hamilton Massa, right, his first title, and he wins it on the final corner of the final lap, right, in the final race of the 2008 season, right, when 2 laps before he made a mistake which looked to have cost him it. It was unbelievable. And what I might do when the season ends is a couple of weekends we might go back and look at some of the races and watch along some of the races, depending, yeah, and have a look and try and relive those moments. So let me know if anyone's interested in that. Singapore is a race I'd love to go to once everything back to normal. Love night races under the lights. Yeah, the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix as well. Obviously, it's going to be exciting. It's a new Grand Prix, but different. I think Saudi Arabia, I believe. Let me just put this Saudi Arabia Grand Prix. Yeah, it's this new edition is going to be at Jeddah is going to be a night race. Let's just have a look at the circuit itself, see what it looks like. So obviously, that's where I've seen it before in Saudi Arabia. It's been raced in Formula E, Jeddah. So yeah, it'd be nice to see. Yeah, so obviously, so we will now have Abu Dhabi is it's not a night race, it's a twilight race. Then you've got Bahrain as a night race. Then you've got Singapore. Then you've got Saudi Arabia. 2012 to Alonso versus Vettel in Drivers' Championship. Vettel spinning on in the opening lap. Yeah, and taking damage as well from I believe it was Bruno Senna's Williams. He got he got tagged, and then as he came round, and nowhere to go, and went into him, and he was very lucky not to retire from that Grand Prix. And later on, at the end of that first lap, Massa played Webber like easy as hell, which is hold him on the outside and let Alonso give Alonso the double let slipstream and get down the inside. And I think there was about over 100 overtakes because the amount of times people were pitting, the amount of times people were spinning. And I mean, Hamilton could have easily won that race. Hulkenberg, remember Hulkenberg was second and competing with, in a Force India, which is now Racing Point, was competing with the McLarens for the race victory. It was only because, and he would have got a podium at least, but unfortunately, because he hit Hamilton, he got a penalty. And I think the penalty, was a bit harsh, to be honest. I think in today's F1, given the conditions and everything, I would have probably thought he would got away with it, to be honest, because they're a bit more lenient now. I mean, sometimes the penalties back then were just ridiculous. You get literally a penalty for anything. So, yeah, so Russell will start obviously with this session. I don't know why, like, who is it? I don't know why Russell would really want to take part and probably would just leave the tyres and use them for the race. And the reason I say that is because he will yeah, let me just let me think. Is because he took on new power elements for this race, which obviously means that with these new elements that he's not supposed to use, he gets a penalty because he's gone over the limit, which is three three parts. There's three parts that are you get 3 parts for 4 of the 6 pieces and of elements, and the other 2 elements you only get 2. But what I will say is, with the 2021 calendar now being 23 races, a lot of teams are now arguing that you've got to give us another power unit, because it's becoming ridiculous how we're trying to keep within the rules without getting a penalty, and keep these cars providing the entertainment in practice and being able to last the whole season. And it's a fair point, to be honest, because you don't see, if they can ever save mileage on the car, they will. They will. But do you see Hulkenberg back in an F1 seat in the future? Yeah, I mean, he's a quality driver. Always has been. Very constant, very very consistent in his races. Yes, he hasn't got a podium ever before, which is probably, and in some instances he should have, which is probably what's probably cost him the seat in the first place. I maybe in the future, but with the amount of seats going this season, I doubt it. But even then, he's I think he's now doing DTM, I believe. So if he's finding success somewhere else in in motorsport, then why would you come back? So, but great question, and please keep them coming in. Yeah, Hamilton has also said this week that hopefully by clinching another world title, he could inspire the next generation to dream big, and with his new commission as well, which is trying to give not just the ethnic minorities as well a chance of F1 like he had, but anyone who's not, say like myself, we haven't got, my family hasn't got the money, wouldn't have the money to support me if I wanted to do racing, same as so many other kids. I mean, he's done that. Would also say, like with Billy Munger fighting his corner to allow disabled drivers to race in F1 sports, in the FI in sports run by the FIA. So yeah, I mean, and also in other news is that Grosjean and Magnussen, obviously they're both out of Haas for this season, for next season, sorry. So for me, but from what they're saying is that they're talking with IndyCar teams and probably looking at Haas as well, because Haas are, I think, also an IndyCar as well, I believe. I might have to double check that, because I might have just got that wrong, because I'm not an IndyCar expert. So Haas team, was it IndyCar? Right. No, they were racing in F1 in IndyCar, but they stopped in 2011. So yeah, so they're probably speaking with other teams as well. So sorry, I got that completely wrong. I hope Red Bull take a chance on Perez, try something different instead of going to feed the team Albon under pressure. I can't see Kvyat going back. I'm unsure if they'll take Gasly back too. So if I get where you're coming from, but for them, they really want, they they pride themselves on having the yeah, oh sorry, they pride themselves on having such a strong academy. So you've got the likes of Gasly, you've got the likes of Kvyat, and to be honest, Gasly, why not take Gasly back? I mean, since he went back to Toro Rosso, um, which was obviously horrible with that happening over the summer. Then his friend Hubert dying in Spa. Um, he's strived and worked hard and been able to get a podium in Brazil. Yes, obviously a bit of luck with Hamilton, Albon, and that and all the other, but he put himself in that position. He made himself in that position. So having that, plus he's won now a Grand Prix at Monza, which Vettel did with the same team, obviously under Toro Rosso, but with the same team, basically exactly what Vettel did. But the difference is with Vettel's and compares to Gasly, yeah, okay, people will jump up and say, yeah, well, he's only done it because Hamilton decided to get a penalty for pitting. Yeah, well, fine, but I'm sorry. Again, you've got, and he's got to put himself in that position to be able to do that. So, and even then, he had Sainz in a faster McLaren bearing down on him, and he managed to manage that situation and win the Grand Prix under extreme pressure, especially as it's the team's home race. Right, and the only thing that was probably unfair on him in that Grand Prix is that there was no fans to celebrate it with, because the Monza crowd would have gone bananas over that. Right, the fact that and their smaller Italian team have been able to claim another victory at Monza. So yeah, so if I was Christian Horner, I'd be looking at his results. I mean, he's been consistently performing this season as well, and he's just getting better and better and better. In my opinion, maybe it's just because Gasly was a bit early. You got to think he was 2018. He had just moved into the sport with Toro Rosso in 2018. Then uh, I think 2019 was then the opportunity of the door opening, because Red Bull had to pick between one of the two drivers, Kvyat or Gasly, because of Ricciardo going to Renault. So they chose Gasly on form. And I think it was just because he couldn't get himself settled. He was, uh, yeah, so we just got, I mean, they're just showing the calendar now. I've just gone through. Um, but yeah, like I was just saying, he's he struggled. He couldn't get himself settled. Right? I mean, you're going against Verstappen, who's one of the rare generational talents, right? And I don't like Verstappen. I hate Verstappen, right? Right, especially because of his attitude. If his attitude was a lot better towards Formula One, then I would, I wouldn't have a problem with him. Same as I didn't have a problem with Vettel when he was fighting with Hamilton for the championship. So, and yeah, I mean, he was going up against a Verstappen who was miles quicker. I mean, look at Albon, who then replaced him, has got a podium as well this season, because he had a podium at the end of last season in his first season in Formula One, but no thanks to Hamilton. But yeah, I mean, you're going against someone who is just a sort of a God-given talent in Max Verstappen, so it's always going to be difficult no matter who goes in there. And even if you did, but even if they went with Perez, um, he would struggle. So for me, they will probably look at one of the two drivers again, if not keep the status quo. I see probably Kvyat maybe going out the door, out of the two, because you've got to remember there's also Tsunoda, who's very, very. I mean, I've watched him in F2 this season. He is an extraordinary talent, Yuki Tsunoda, who is part of the Red Bull Academy, and you can tell that because um, F2 teams, if it's like an academy driver, they would have either the Ferrari badge on it, the Mercedes badge on their car, right? Or in Red Bull's terms, they'd have the Red Bull livery. So yeah, could give Gasly a second chance at Red Bull, I suppose, in 2022, as he's confirmed at AlphaTauri next season. But even in 2021, I mean, if 2021, if Albon doesn't perform, right, and carries on with struggling to keep up with Verstappen, then again, it could be that Albon gets thrown out the door in the summer and Gasly comes back in again. But I do think one of the two AlphaTauris are going to be dropped unless they've actually confirmed their positions for next season. They will be dropped. One of them will be dropped because Yuki Tsunoda is a formidable talent. But then, by the same token, he could be may need another season in F2 to give him the real experience to prepare him even more. Because I think if he stayed in F2 next season, he could possibly end up winning the thing. He could have been leading this season if some of Schumacher's performances. How many times we said that in F1? But yeah, Mick Schumacher's performances have been extraordinary in the last few races. So again, like the safety car and the FIA are checking over to see if it's safe or not. And you've got to remember they're still trying to get the session done in a very dark Turkish Istanbul Park Circuit. Because I mean, you can see like the lights clearly shining in the garages a lot brighter. Yeah, Alpha Tauri driver seats 2021. Just need like a list. And Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri. Yeah, Pierre Gasly will remain at AlphaTauri. Obviously, like Chris just said. Yeah, I mean that's exactly what I'm saying. I think he's a very good talent to do it, and I don't see why he shouldn't. Um, and even then, Alex Albon, he still hasn't confirmed his seat with Red Bull either. So it could be a possibility that even Gasly, yeah, all right, may be confirmed, but if it may be confirmed, right? This is the thing with AlphaTauri and how close they are to Red Bull. He could be confirmed for AlphaTauri, but if Christian Horner and Helmut Marko decide, right, Albon, had enough of you, get back in the AlphaTauri. Gasly, right, we'll give you another chance, come back in, right? Red AlphaTauri won't get a say in it, right? It will happen. Simple as that. So, yeah, that, and you've got then, yeah, so it's quite easily adjustable in that sort of sense. Same with probably Alfa Romeo and also with Haas as well. I mean, Alfa Romeo, or Sauber Alfa Romeo because they're getting their parts supplied by Ferrari. It's like Alfa Romeo is like a B team for Ferrari. So yeah, same as Mercedes and Williams, they're using Williams as their academy drivers. So who do you think will take Haas seats? I think Schumacher and Mazepin. Yeah, Schumacher. Well, why not Schwartzman? Why not Schwartzman? That's another one. Right, Mazepin, I get your point, but Schwartzman, Mazepin's not been near the top three this season in F2. It's been between. It's really been between the two. Oh God, who races? I can't think. Uh, me, shoot. He's currently driving for. Oh God, I can't think who he's driving for. Uh, I can't think. I can't find it either. Oh, Prema, come back to me, Prema. Yes, the two Prema drivers are both Ferrari Academy drivers. So, and the fact that Schwartzman is first season in Formula Two, as he moved up from Formula Three the year before. The fact that he's already fighting Mick Schumacher, has already spent a season in F2, as in last season. I don't see why Schwartzman shouldn't get his opportunity either. Because you got to admit, I think Leclerc, his career. If I look at Leclerc's career, he went straight from F3 to F2 to F1 in one season. And I'll double check that actually. I don't think, to be honest, um, uh, his career. So yeah, he went straight from GP3 straight into F2, then into Alpha. Yeah, so Schwartzman, shout out to, sorry for the spelling. What I'll do is I'll type that in actually. Yeah, you're right. Apart from it's SCHW ARTZ, and then there's only one N at the end. So yeah, Schwartzman. So yeah, at the minute they've been trying to get the um, road sweepers to try and clear the water away. Uh, there's been the safety car Bert Meinlander in this uh, yeah, the safety car is now doing another tour of the circuit to experience how wet it is outside on the circuit and how slippery it is. But even then, even the safety car was struggling in these on this surface. There we go, and the session will restart. Local time is 5 to 4, which is 5 to 1 here. So 6 minutes for everyone to get out and get a lap in. So yes, the race will restart. Just going to correct a few things here. Uh, right, so the session is about to start, and the first driver everyone's going to go out and try and get another lap in, I think. And I think it's going to be down to who makes the less mistakes during the lap, to be honest, because I don't see any of them struggling everyone's going to be struggling everyone's going to be struggling to do a clean lap. Shall we put it this way? Has definitely got going for rookie drivers, whoever they are, a bit. Yeah, I think that these drivers, Schwartzman and I'm not saying Mazepin was a bad driver. I just think that the fact that Schwartzman managed to come in straight away and challenge for the F2 title shows that. And the only reason he's probably not winning it is probably just because Schumacher's had that year of experience in F2. Is some of Schumacher's performances, like Sochi, he won both races, and that dominance wasn't seen in F2 since Leclerc's dominance in 2017. So, but yeah, Chris. Whoa! And Raikkonen having a spin and nearly putting it in the wall already, and he's only just been out. Whoa! I'm sure that will give you a shocking reminder. Right, here we go. Here's the link. Chris, if you want to come on, please come on and like join in. I'm more than happy for you to come on the show. Yeah, but even then they're struggling, right? And this is only the outlet. I mean, jeez. Right, I wouldn't want to play it. Look, the right and wide again. It's just he's turning the wheel and it's just going like that. It's just not happening. Not happening. As Bottas and then Lewis Hamilton comes out, and pretty much he's probably the last person to come out. Latifi trying to key jump there. Um, just checking. I think Latifi is staying in his seat. Well, Russell and Latifi are not being confirmed. Russell should stay, right? Russell's proven whenever the car's been able to compete a bit, especially this season, even last season, he nearly got it out of Q2. I think he did actually in Hungary. But yeah, I mean, Kimmy's skating on ice. That's why he's called the Iceman. Yes, well said. Honestly, come on. If you want to join, please. But very good one. Very, very good one. Right, that's a very good one. Right, you'd think also that like Verstappen would be very good in these conditions. He's Mad Max. Right, only the mad will go out here. It's, but yeah, he's struggling still. Turn one, he's 3 tenths down of Ocon's time. Ocon fastest. Oh, this is nuts. Oh, and Grosjean's beached this. There's another red flag. Oh, this has got. Oh no. Everyone's got to go back to the pits. There's another red flag. Grosjean has beached his. I won't want to hear his radio, knowing his language. Right, right. He definitely talk right. In British terms, like he definitely was going to be. Excuse my French. But yeah, just went into turn one and the car just said, "Nah, I'm not having that, thank you," and just span into the gravel. Oh, come on, give me a sec. Yeah, thank you. It's not to worry. Thanks for your support. And Leclerc nearly beached it as well. Whoa! Oh, Leclerc nearly did it as well. But Leclerc just being a little bit very good control. Just let the car just made sure he kept movement in the car so it didn't beach itself. But oh, right. Oh, yep. Grosjean out of qualifying. So Grosjean is out of qualifying because he is 17th. And obviously, you, if you want, even though it's a red flag, if you want to continue on in the session, you have to bring your car back into the pit. Remember 2018, Hamilton running down right towards the stadium section with his car as the I think the hydraulic pressure went in his car, meant he got stuck in gear and trying to. I don't think even then, but he was so desperate. Obviously, it was a pivotal point in the championship, and he knew that Ferrari were faster than them. And yeah, just mad, absolutely mad, man. Jeez. It's like I said, it's whoever makes the least mistakes in their lap, to be honest. Hi, Chris, how are
All
you?
right, how are you doing?
Uh, I'm jealous of I'm jealous of the badge, mate.
I don't know for the £15 from China.
What? Your shirt?
Yeah, the shirt.
Wow, you've got some on the website for that. I'll find it cheap.
I forgot what it's told now, but
But
I'll
even
say,
then, with the Conkeys, it'll probably be double the amount anyway.
triple that.
Yeah,
Good,
thanks for coming on. By all means, means a lot.
brilliant qualifying session so far, isn't
Yeah, I mean,
it?
it's like who says you can't get entertainment in F1 these days? Honestly, I'll ask you this question. Like, obviously, we've got new rules that would have come in this next season, but is going to come in the season after. If you're the boss of the FIA, what would you do to improve it?
Well, it's like you were saying before, with all these races, yeah, 23 races. That's so far due to
Mm,
circumstances. You gotta allow teams to have another power unit because it's gonna be impossible. Yeah,
yeah,
to have the same one done for 23 races. It's just towards chaos, in my opinion.
yeah. I mean, obviously, obviously, the most reliable is Mercedes, and I think the thing they've strived on a lot is that they made sure it's not only fast but reliable. Um, and people would like actually forget 2014 because the reason though they were so dominant, they were quite unreliable at the start.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. But
so
yeah,
yeah,
some
you were
F1
saying.
fans, some haters called them the Man City of F1. Yeah,
Well, no, the
like
Man
no,
City of F1 is like Ferrari, right? They get
yeah.
paid just to be in it, right? And I'm like, at what point is that fair?
It was probably that. It's probably that person you had on after Hamilton won in after Hamilton won, and he was hating Hamilton, saying, "Oh, I'll never like him."
Yeah, what's
I
your
mean,
opinion? I mean, everyone's now making comparisons between Hamilton and Schumacher, and you look at the careers, and it's quite similar of how they managed to turn a team that's from nothing to something.
yeah, you looked at the Senna days, like Iron Senna, like that was different safety because they didn't have this halo system, didn't have that
Mm,
safety. But for me, Hamilton is great. The stats show it. Obviously,
yeah,
if he equals the seventh world championship, which he will, in my opinion, touch wood, touch wood he does.
I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
to be honest, I mean, it's like I said, he only has to outscore Bottas has to outscore him by 8 points. But then again, even if he outscores him by 7, Hamilton will still win it on race victories alone.
yeah.
So it's unless like he has a major problem towards the end of the season, like basically doesn't turn up. um, it's
a,
pretty
a,
much
a
the
major
conclusion.
a major chaos, which I don't see happening. even
Um,
though even though like that debacle in Russia this season, Hamilton will still win it, still shut them up.
yeah, I mean that's the thing as well. Is what I loved about it is that So especially when it was Rosberg and Hamilton, it was like he'd go out and do all this stuff during the week and everything. And I remember the 2017 Grand Prix, he was getting slated a lot because he didn't appear at the F1 Live in London, and he said he was doing it to prepare himself. But then all the same fans that were having a go at him were then all in the crowd cheering him on. They were cheering him as he won the Grand Prix for a fifth time. So you were like, yeah, really, right?
To be fair, yeah, like in 2016, when people hate on Hamilton, even in 2016, he got like, sorry for my answer, he got like fucked over, didn't he? And
Oh, I mean, 2016 Austria.
yeah,
I mean, like, how if
him
anyone,
and
yeah,
Rosberg crossing on the colliding with each other.
yeah. I mean, I'm sorry if anyone doesn't work out that's not Rosberg clearly driving into Hamilton, and they really need to rethink how they watch Formula One. So he doesn't even turn until he's hitting.
Well, I'm not really a big fan of Rosberg. Like,
And what wind me up as well, so it's just wind me up as well, is that even at the last race, Hamilton had to back him up to try and get Ricardo and Vettel behind him.
Yeah.
He knew it was going to happen, right? And the same like with 2015 as well. He was like, well, you've got to get him to speed up. He's ruining my race. He's doing this. He's doing. Well, if you want him to speed up, why don't you fucking overtake him, right? Why don't you go out, overtake him, and win the Grand Prix, right? I thought that was your general idea.
I mean,
but now he's all like, "Oh, Hamilton's this, Hamilton's that." Right? I'm all up Hamilton's ass.
I just don't get it. Like, with our country, I mean, us Britishmen, we should be happy. Should be happy for Hamilton. To see a British driver do that. When Schumacher won the
obviously,
seventh.
Britain have had, in terms of championships, the most success in Formula One. But, just, like, even if you don't, I was never a fan of Verstappen. I'm not a fan of Verstappen. I made it probably very clear. But if he won 2 or 3 championships, you'd have to sit there and go, yeah, well done. Unless he's generally done something that's wrong, like Schumacher in Adelaide or something like that. So, but yeah, hang on, Hamilton 14th.
Oh no!
Don't. No. Grosjean's out. Latifi. Grosjean's out. So Latifi, even if he got 15th, he would say, Jesus, breathe.
Oh, he's out. Yeah,
yeah. That's
Hamilton's safe now.
Went. That's where Latifi went. Right.
Bloody hell.
But yeah, you were saying that. Mazepin's quite a shout, but I think Ferrari they're gonna have a problem with the amount of talent they've got in F2.
Yeah, Mazepin's only in within the shout because
you got Ilott as well. Sorry, you got Ilott as well, and he should have his chance in Haas as well. And that's 3 drivers trying to find a seat.
Hey, Mazepin's only in within the shout because of his father. His father's been involved. David Haas, a bit like Squall. Yeah, Jan Squall and his father, Racing Point. She has Aston Martin for next season. I want to see Schumacher and Smoltman, seeing what they've done in F2. Just putting both of them up.
I think if it was all their first season, it'd probably be a lot closer. All right. And what made it? What even made it worse is Hamilton. He wouldn't have counted that lap because he drifted wide. And I'm like,
oh my!
Apparently it's deleted for exceeding track limits. It's like, what has he bloody gained? What has he gained in like going wide?
Oh my God!
It's like I do it in the game, and you're like, well, what advantage have I got?
It wouldn't make a bloody difference, would it? It would still be safe.
Yeah.
Only trucks.
Yeah. Hopefully, that should be a lot of improvement in this. I think it's just because of the amount of red flags and it being literally last lap. I think the pole position is going to be whoever makes the least mistakes, because everyone at some point during a lap is making a mistake. It's just so slippery.
Yeah, that was when I was watching practice 3 this morning, and I saw heavy rain. I was like, not hit on the head. Just not hit. It's not gonna work. And obviously qualifying 1. It's been like an hour. It's been an hour. It could well be 3 hours if it continues.
Yeah, I mean it's. I think that's probably why after Canada they've introduced it like with a 4-hour sort of limit in terms of time. Because I remember Canada 2011, I was still sitting there. And what was sitting there is when they started a race and Hamilton was already out by that point. And I'm sitting there and the safety car's still going around for about 10 laps. And I'm like, how safe do you want it? Literally to its bone dry. It was just mad.
It's like sometimes you just want a safety car, don't you? Well, safety cards at the end of the way.
Yeah, I mean, what's your prediction for qualifying then, given practice and everything?
Well, at the moment, everything's swinging in Red Bull's favour. Like, I'm Max Verstappen. I'm just going to stick by Verstappen. I just think Mercedes at the moment, they're struggling. But it can all change, can't it? It can all change.
Yeah.
Qualifying
I mean, the
3.
amount of times is also that Verstappen's been quickest in practice, and then all of a sudden Mercedes just turn it on. So, but even if like Verstappen won again, like it makes Bottas's job even harder.
Because Verstappen will close Verstappen on
him. Well, just that is that it'd be a lot. Bottas would have to finish second, and Hamilton would have to finish. I think it's 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that.
Start the season. I said Verstappen would be closer chances than Hamilton. I still said Hamilton will win it.
Yeah, I think the thing with Verstappen is, and this is what really bugs me about Verstappen, he could be so much better. And people that don't put Leclerc in the same bracket, I don't get, but because that Verstappen could be so much better if he could just like the amount of times that when he's had like 2018 accident after accident after accident, is that like if a world champion like Hamilton's trying to give you advice, take it. Then you're going to get better, aren't you? So, but
I mean Ferrari, fucking hell, they've been the biggest disappointment this season.
I tell you what, my first car was Ford Fiesta and it was red, but that was faster.
I don't know what's happened with Ferrari like this season.
Well, they had that sort of investigation towards the end of last season.
That's what I thought.
Well, it's not so much investigation. They just sort of clarified the rules, right? And they were like, "Okay, we better stop before we get caught out here." But I think it's more than that. It's just the amount of drag on the car as well they've completely cocked it up.
I just think Vettel. It's like Chelsea Kurt. He's like the own boy at Ferrari, isn't he? And
I said after 20 when he came in 2019, they said Vettel's just missed his chance.
And obviously, you'll take your Kurt now. He's treading that team this season, while Vettel's just sitting in mid-table, not bothered.
I mean, I don't think he's not bothered, to be honest. And I think a lot of people that don't give him the credit he deserves, but I feel that he's just in certain areas, in terms of 2017, 2018, he's made the more mistakes. And they said at the start of those seasons, he was going to whoever be who makes the most mistakes. But then when you get performances like qualifying Singapore 2018 with Hamilton and that is just. I mean, you watch that race, you watch that lap over and over again, and there's not one problem with it at all.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's winning the championship until Hamilton retired.
Yeah. Well, they're saying that they've got. I mean, Toto's confirmed, so it's pretty much going to be nailed on that Hamilton will stay. And why not? I mean, where else? Why would you want to leave? That's like winning. That's like winning, sort of like that's like winning a title and then deciding, no, I'd rather go join West Ham United, thanks. No, thank you, any West Ham fans.
That's what I didn't like about Nico Rosberg. When he won it, he just pretty retired straight away without attempting to defend it.
Yeah, because he knew. I knew he couldn't.
Yeah, I knew he couldn't either. And now I see him on.
It's not just the incident as well. I think it's reliability as well. If you remember Hamilton, Malaysia, he had he had the newest engine out of the lot, right? It saved him up for Belgium, and then he was the only one who blew up the car. So it was just and
he was fucked over Hamilton. Because
I was in hospital. I was not happy.
Because Hamilton wins that, he's on for the record breaking Schumacher's records of titles.
Well, it's like even in 2011, McLaren, right? If he didn't have that problem with the gear settings and everything, he would have won it that season, his first ever season. I mean, the people that don't his first season, his first corner, he goes round the outside of the reigning double world champion of Fernando Alonso, right? Who's just won a championship against Schumacher, right? And he's just gone right round the outside, like, bye, you seen already, right, get out of the way, the new kid's in town, right?
I mean, it's mad. They only had one season together, didn't they? Alonso and Hamilton, 2007, and that was it.
Well, I think that is obviously because of after what happened in Hungary, to be honest, in qualifying in Hungary, and what was even funny is that you did that, but you still won the race.
Right, I think Red Bull got this in the bad in qualifying, but I expect Mercedes to be better.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm usually tense, but I'm not that tense, to be honest. I really am not that tense about it. So
yeah, because Mercedes and React now, they've won the constructors, but I think Hamilton, he's hungry. He wants more records and all that.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, with everyone's like going on about Mercedes, is like, well, don't have a go at them, have a go at the competition, right? Mercedes is just doing what they're supposed to be doing, is right, and the competition is not proving to be fast enough. So you've got to look at that and think, okay, right, why are they not competing?
It's because, I mean, Red Bull, they only got one driver because Albon's not at Max Verstappen's limit. Ferrari, same with them. Vettel's unfortunately done downhill and performance-wise.
But I think with Verstappen at the minute, whoever goes in that spot next to him is like a poison chalice. Right? It literally is, because you're trying to keep up with someone who's just naturally gifted.
I think it was the same when Vettel was moved to Red Bull. Mark Webber. I thought I had Mark
Webber. Well, that's
Webber,
the thing as well. Gasly's just done basically what Vettel's done, but yet he's already had a term at Red Bull. So it'd be interesting how it plays out, to be honest.
I'm looking forward to McLaren next season. What a partnership. Ricciardo and Norris.
Yeah. I met Nice as well. He's he
Yeah,
just
Daniel,
he looks like someone who should be at school. Right?
and
It's-
and
He
and when
looks
he's
like
on that,
someone that honestly, the cop will look at his driving license and said, "That's not real."
and he's on that F1 stream where Wafts came in his way and he's fighting him.
No, I remember I went to the British Grand Prix 2019 and he had that press conference, right? And they were mentioning it during a Q&A session because I asked him a question. So we did it as an experience package, which is thousands of pounds, to be honest, really expensive. It's about
Aye,
over
basement.
£1,000 for one person, about 1,500 quid for one person or something like that. But me and my mum went because my dad passed away, he had some inheritance. So, and honest to God, it was, if you get that sort of money, I'd honestly go there and do it because it's like you get paddock, you get go to the paddock club, you go walk down the grid on a Friday evening, where it becomes like the M25 when they're all trying to weigh the cars, right, and then strip them down and have the gearbox changes and stuff. And yeah, you get you go on the truck that parades around the back, around the circuit. Yeah, I mean, honest to God, it's yeah, it's honest. It's really, really, really good. Met David Croft as well as we were getting the trophies, pictures on the starting grid. Right, and he was like, got this picture and was about to walk away. And I just shouted, "Oi, you, get over here!" I ain't finished with you yet.
Honestly, pretty. If there's one driver I'd like to meet, it's Timmy Raikkonen, man. He's a madman.
It's just no. It's just what I
And
love about Viking. It's just no bullshit. It's no bullshit. It's literally just like
I
he
think
does. It's
2018,
straight out talk.
yeah, 2018 when he won the Austin Grand Prix, Ferrari was celebrating. They were
Yeah,
celebrating, and Timmy just like, okay, he's not
yeah.
bothered.
Thank you, fucking finally.
Yeah,
It's just like I mean, what I
it's his
used to
hobby.
love. He could win even when he won the title. He was like, "Mate, you can smile, right?" I mean, like it's not like it's a crime.
The white teen of F1.
Yeah, that's a fair shout, actually.
There's no nonsense at all.
Yeah. So what we got in a minute? We got Verstappen first, Perez second, Bottas third, with Hamilton fourth. Right. Norris, Leclerc, Gasly, Sainz, and Ocon. Which is a surprise. Leclerc is behind Vettel.
Bloody hell. Pete 2020 at his best.
Yeah, I'd love to see. Actually, I think Leclerc's got the talent to win a race, but
I think he's got the talent to win a championship as well.
yeah, I honestly say that he could win it before, and the reason I say he could win it before Verstappen, and this will probably be way into the future, is because um, and actually I'd also throw Norris in there because he outperforms at McLaren as well. Is that the three of them? I would honestly say with Leclerc, he could win the title first because he criticises himself. He's always critical of himself and then critical of the team or anything like that. He's just literally, what have I done wrong and what can I do better? Whereas Verstappen's more of the I know everything. Right? Yeah, say that when Altman goes past you running outside. Bye.
Yeah, he can be arrogant. Like, well, he's arrogant most of the time.
All drivers are arrogant, right? Because they all
Yeah,
think they're the best, right? But there's a certain there's a certain level of arrogance you should be doing.
that was the best one. The best one in the last race for Verstappen doors past Bottas. Didn't it all on the team radio saying, suck it. And then 1 minute, he's out the way.
But we're now looking at his best mate, Ocon.
that was good, that.
How the fuck do you not see a pink freaking full fight racing point coming alongside you? I don't know. Right, it's like Hamilton said. He's like trying to say to him, he said, if you just wait 2 seconds or even 2 laps. I mean, Hamilton wasn't pressurizing you. Just wait 2 laps. Those tires will go within 2 laps. You can go past him. You know what I mean?
I think that was the last race of the season, or was it Abu Dhabi?
Yeah, it was the season before. I mean, it all ends at Abu Dhabi now, doesn't it? So
just seeing Verstappen door towards Ocon, pushing Southern. Ocon's just like, whatever.
What do you think about the Saudi Arabia Grand Prix, Jeddah? I think it's the same circuit as the Formula E circuit, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, because I had a look. It was at Jeddah, which they keep just describing it as
It's what we want to see. Like exciting Grand Prix added. Like I don't know if Germany in there for next season.
Nah, I'd like to though.
Yeah.
Like if they're going to replace that 4th spot, because obviously Vietnam with the political issues aren't going. If they're debating that spot, why? I mean, it's just that they get no. I think they get no support from the government now. The German government. That's why they haven't been able to afford to keep up with the racing. Because I mean, the Nürburgring, the Eiffel Grand Prix this season, the Hockenheim, the last 2 seasons, they're quality. One, it's well-known names in Formula One, right? And 2, it's just they're very exciting. They've just always been a very exciting race every time.
Like this season, I miss Monaco. Like I said it. No Grand Prix, no season without Monaco for that yet.
Yeah, but I think to be fair,
it's the same for Singapore and Brazil as well.
Yeah, I think, but though with how they've managed to get 17 races together to have some sort of season, I think it's been incredible, to be honest. Right? And I don't get why, like for 2020, for the game, for instance, why don't they put the new circuits in there?
Like that was when they were putting the races in. I think they only had like 10 confirmed, and I was like, that's not going to be enough. I don't think F1 fans would just say, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point of it? Just leave it. But then they just add more.
But once they add more races, then I was like, 15 races. I mean, that's probably.
Well, I heard some people still moan about it, and I'm like, well, 17 races is how it used to be.
So, exactly.
It used to be 16 races, and that was it. And so it's only recently that they've been upping it to 17 and 18 and 19. Now we're doing about 23, which because he wants it. Apparently, how Chase Kearney described it, I remember when he wanted to add more races, is that he wants to make it more like IndyCar and the amount of races they've got there. So, well, the difference is, mate, is that IndyCar goes around one country. This goes around the entire fucking world. They even have parts of the garage based in other continents, so they can bring it to the circuit. The logistics is incredible.
Didn't know what he meant by that because that's in one country. We're traveling around these F1 drivers, every F1 team, traveling all the way around the country in this bloody pandemic.
Yeah, and you want to add even more races as well. So, yeah, as they come around and finish off their laps here, Norris is out, Sainz is out. Vettel gets ahead of Leclerc. but they've still got to come to the line. No,
No.
it's 12th.
No surprise there.
I don't think I don't think Leclerc will improve. Might do.
Nope.
Nope. Nowhere near. Obviously made a mistake.
Rest in peace, Ferrari.
Yeah. And what's worse is they're stuck in like that till 2022 as well. So you're relying on other teams to try and fill the gap. And Renault look like they're starting to sort of fill that gap, to be honest, which is not surprising being a works team.
They used to be a good team when Alonso was world champion. Back then, many years ago.
Yeah, back in the early 80s. And
I mean, Alfa Romeo, good qualifying session for them.
Yeah, very good. Giovinazzi even fifth. So it's always what happens when you put a little bit of the wet stuff on the circuit, isn't it? But even then, Gasly just pulled into the pits and he's having to correct the slide.
Can't wait for Kimi Raikkonen's team radio. Alfa Romeo saying 1, 2, 3.
Yay!
No answer. It just does okay.
Well done. Okay. Next.
yeah, he's a world champion. Kimi Raikkonen. He expects better.
Yeah. I honestly. Do you think? How long do you think Kimi Raikkonen will stay? I think have they confirmed their drivers Alfa Romeo?
Yeah, they confirmed both of them, Raikkonen and Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi wasn't surprising because
I nearly got his signature once, but my mum talked me out of it because that British Grand Prix I went to, we stayed in the hotel we stayed in was where Sauber team was staying, the Alfa Romeo team was staying, and I saw him on Thursday morning breakfast, right, in the hotel, and I'm looking at mum and said, Giovinazzi, right? She went, who? I went, it's Giovinazzi, he's one of the bloody drivers. She went, yeah, and I said, I've got to get a picture and an interview. Not an interview, an autograph. She went, no, let him finish his breakfast. I went, piss off!
You can't miss out on it, man.
Yeah, I missed out on that one, but yeah, because I've spent so much time in hospital, I've had doctors write to McLaren and Mercedes to sort of. I remember one doctor wrote to McLaren, and then they sent back a photo of Hamilton and that as well. So I think I've got about 3 signatures of his now. Right, so yeah, it's because I met him in 2012 at the British Grand Prix, which was again like a make a wish sort of wish.
Oh yeah.
And though I was an adult, because I hadn't had a chance to have that wish, they let us use it. So, and it was a great day out. It was a great weekend, to be honest. Soaking wet. Right. It was lovely. It's Friday. It's soaking wet. Right. We're in the Jensen Button Trust Suite round Cops Corner.
Typical British weather, ain't it?
Yeah, round we're sitting round at the old Turn 1 in front of Maggots and Beckett's, right, in the Jensen Button Trust Suite, watching everyone else as camped out, like decided to come and camp out on the wet grass and everything, or in the rain, or with the rain and everything. We're sitting there in smart clothes eating a roast dinner, right, just chilling, right. It was just like you just want to do this. Hello.
Like
cheers. So yeah, that was quality as well. So,
well, it's a qualifying session. Just had 7 minutes.
What's that?
Just had this session, this qualifying 7 minutes, which is because we were fearing it could be finished in the morning.
Yeah, by the look of it as well, really dark, and I'm surprised that when they did say the more rain was coming down, I thought, it's that dark, it's getting out wet. There's no way. Let's just leave it.
No.
Right, leave it to the morning. Wake up at 6 in the morning, do a broadcast. Right, right, like morning, right.
Pretty. Yeah, Kevin Madison, he was doing his interview there.
He is a dirty driver. I'm sorry, he is a dirty driver.
I remember one time it was him and Nico Hulkenberg, and I think it was an interview after one race.
Yeah.
And Hulkenberg went sarcastic. He said, "Good driving," and Magnussen just went, "Suck my balls."
Yeah. Well done, dirtiest driver of the grid. He went, "Suck my balls." I'm like,
it wasn't a try to survive series. No wonder Steiner's having a pretty meltdown at both of them.
yeah. Did you know what's funny is it's like how Hunt's like interview, and he was like, they said like they changed the rules concerning wings. You're still extremely fast. How do you do it? Big balls. Can't they print that? And he's one of those. For sponsors, he's the worst person on the planet, right? But in terms of God-given talent, right, no one better. Right? And what I didn't like about the film is they made them out to be like real like enemies, and they didn't like each other, which was absolute bollocks, right?
Yeah.
Because they like it was the teams are at war. McLaren and Ferrari never liked each other, obviously, right? But he would come like Hamilton would not Hamilton, what am I saying? Hunt would come to like Lauda's garage, and because he looked like a rat, he'd go, "Oi, rat!"
Oh my god! And I'll always remember that moment, like 2008, Tomato Brazil 1-3. Felipe Massa thinking he's won the world championship,
Oh no! To be honest,
I do feel sorry for him though.
yeah, I did feel I did feel sorry for him in the end, right? And right, I remember also 2011 he couldn't get right as if 2008 couldn't be bad enough. Right, 2011 he couldn't get away from Hamilton. Right, it was right. You'd think they had a relationship going. Right, the amount of times they were together on the track. Right, kiss you here, kiss you there, kiss you here, kiss you there.
He's definitely one of the most unluckiest drivers not to win, not to be world champion.
Yeah, I think obviously me being a Hamilton fan, I would say that Hamilton deserved it, but right, but I think both of them, to be honest, generally that the way how close it was toward the end of the season, yeah, I really do feel that both of them deserved it. The only thing I'd also say is that for the FIA, I don't care what they said, like Belgium 2008, they said letting him pass and then overtaking him then, that was perfectly legal. And then at the end of the race, they docked him 20 seconds. Right? Right? So they deliberately tried to make an attempt to try and stop him winning the title in 2008. And it was so clear to see.
If I was Hamilton, after winning that championship the way he did, I wouldn't care what the FIA say. I'll just say, I'll just say to them, "Don't fuck yourselves."
No, because it's one of those. Is the head of the FIA who had to give it at the prize giving gala. Now, I'd like to see them give it at the end of the season, right? At the like they do the top three,
yeah,
right, and then they do on the podium, and then whoever's finished first, second, third on the championship standings then come on and onto the podium, right, and then they give the championship trophies to them. But what I really found, like, what I really what I would have probably done is Hamilton is just one of those. It's like they're looking like, and I'll be just saying, no, thank you.
oh, I mean, Mercedes obviously expected them to be in Q3. Obviously,
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to be out of Q2 and all that. It's just hard to tell. I think it's still hard to
Yeah,
tell.
I think, to be honest, I think Verstappen's going to have pole here, to be honest.
And I think...
Do you know what? He gets driver of the day so much, and I know why, because the whole frigging Holland vote for him. Right? Some of his drives, he's literally... he could break his front wing on the first lap, pit, have a 20-second penalty, and still get driver of the day. Right? For some reason.
It's a chilled driver of the day on like how many positions they make up. Like,
yeah, how much do they get a really good start? Do they stay consistent during a race? Do they any special amount of overtakes they do? Like, I mean, like some of Hamilton's performances I've seen, and he's like not even in the top three, and I'm like, really? I'm not considering him.
Even if he, I think that's probably because they know Hamilton won the race and he's always going to be on the front row, first, second, or third, top three. But I mean, if you start like from the back and you're in 10th, I mean, you should be considerate for a drive of the day. But
Just seeing here now is that Perez has gone fastest.
Bloody hell!
Yes. Hang on. Yeah, Verstappen's now faster. Now.
I thought you were going to say
hang on.
there.
But Perez has done that on the ends. Does everyone pit and get? Yeah, he's boxed. Verstappen was going fast. This is what he's boxed.
I don't get that.
It was a much faster lap. He's not finished it. He's boxing for ints. He better get it right. He better have no mistakes, right? Because I'll be on his case. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Right? You're about to go faster. What the fuck?
I think, the racing point must have started on intermediates. Yeah, in this qualifying free.
Everyone's going to intermediates now. Whoa, but then Perez. Oh, no. That's not what I want to see. No. It's so annoying as well when you're going through these types of systems. I'm like, will you fucking stick?
And I hope that was.
Put super glue on the fucking floor.
Just put ice on the floor, as Kvyat said. As he would have better grip. What's happening here?
Get on with it. Don't start that bollocks again. Right? He's already had that once in his career.
I just don't. I don't doubt when that happens. Right? Pitting both of them at the same time.
Well, you're pitting both at the same time. Just get on with it, right? Because then he'll get 2 laps.
You wouldn't want that to happen.
In these conditions, I want 2 laps because you then get a chance to. You would get a chance that if you do fuck up, you get another chance.
You don't want that to happen with Kimi Raikkonen. He'll have a mad one on the team radio.
Oh yeah, right. Why am I not faster?
Wheel. Where's the wheel?
Well, yep, steering wheel.
And he's like, I think it was that Monaco where he's he was on a 1 page saying, give it here. But he's always on the 1 page.
Oh, he's brilliant. I love. I've grown to like Raikkonen a lot. Do you remember because he finished 3rd in 2018? It was like he had to go to he went to the prize giving gala and he was absolutely drunk as a skunk and he went to get that trophy. he was you can see him, he was completely wankered. Oh god. I thought that is quality, Kimmy. I'm sorry. No. How to accept 3rd spot. Why you wank? Because I didn't get first.
I mean, he was still act like that, even if it won him the bloody title. He would just be, oh, but I wanted first.
It's a shame this race isn't in America, to be honest. Do you know why? Right, because if like say like if Hamilton didn't
Oh yeah.
get pole, does that mean like in America? If it was in America, if he didn't get pole, would that mean he and you think came second? Would he still get to start first? Right, yeah, but I won it. Right, I lost the race, but yeah, I won it.
Yeah, it's all
Well,
that matters. It's all that matters, ain't it? When the
I'm
time
just saying in American terms, like if you didn't finish, like he didn't win the race, but did you? Yeah, but it still meant I won it.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but
I don't care. I run a race. Okay.
just get it as fours and doors. Just get it door, man. Just get it door.
Right. This is where you can see barbed wire outside right outside the White House, right? Barbed wire minefield. You ain't coming in.
Oh my god. He can't accept defeat, bloody Trump. Just accept it. He ought.
Yeah, just
He,
have a be a man.
he got smart in the bloody accent. It wasn't close, but Biden won it. Easy. What's he trying to do? Oh,
Oh, do you know what? Part of me's like sad because it would have been 4 more years of comedy.
yeah.
It'd been
Good one.
quality comedy, comedy for 4 years.
Would have been good one, that.
Oh, hang on. Come on, Perez. Come on, Perez. You know you wanna go on, put the power down.
What's that?
Oh, 149.
He's through that pole now,
Nice.
you would think.
Go on, Perez.
Oh, he took that second.
No, second. Oh, the Pink Panthers are first and second. Did it. Did it.
Do you, Mercedes, on the wise?
Yeah, it's surprising how last year's it's last year's Mercedes first and second. It is, isn't it? Apart from the breakdown, it's them first and second.
Oh, Whitening pitted.
Oh, Raikkonen, what'd you do that for?
He's, on the F1, when you go on
Why
the
is-
F1, then should use that overtake button.
Can I just hang on? You know, like the Mercedes is stopped. They're still on. They're still on. Wets. They could end up really download the grid. Good news for me. Look, it could be that order by the end of the Grand Prix. It wouldn't matter.
So, yeah,
That'd be the end of it.
Oh dear.
Oh, do you remember the 2018 Grand Prix? It was like how many Mexican when he won it? The Mexican Grand Prix was literally like used literally every single set of tires. Like,
But yeah, you won't have any fucking if you keep using it.
it was like British Grand Prix this year. It was like, how many tires do you want to use? Oh, that's gone faster. Oh. Come on, put the power down.
He's done it, I think. Yeah.
Oh!
Let's see what the Mercedes are doing here.
Go on, Hamilton. Go on, you little beauty.
No,
he's not.
no. Knock it on the head.
Sixth fastest. Oh my Jesus.
Wow.
Oh, don't get pole, Stafford. Just don't. Like, don't be an arse.
or
He can't get the power down.
second.
Oh, Stroll's on pole. He couldn't do it.
The Dutch in the Red Bull's faces.
Violin.
Albon is out. Nah, Albon doesn't do anything.
I would have laughed if he came second. Oh God, he got pole.
Keep Albon now. Keep him.
I don't believe that. Well, fair play to Stroll. Look, Perez third.
Damn on Stroll, he's loving it. He's loving it.
Oh, wouldn't you? Like,
bloody hell, what? Well, the race is done be done tomorrow.
Bottas ninth. Bottas is ninth. Hamilton sixth. Whoa, that is unbelievable.
Bottas a bottler. Nah, but mind him up.
Yeah, that's it's wet. It's what happens in qualifying when it's wet. Right. So final. I'll just go through the final order, which will be Stroll, Verstappen, Perez, Albon, Ricciardo, Hamilton in sixth, Ocon seventh, Raikkonen eighth, Bottas ninth. So the eighth and ninth is going to be as cold as ice, and Giovinazzi 10th.
Bloody hell!
What a session that is.
And I said earlier it'd be most likely Red Bull.
Yeah, it would have been, to be honest, probably. But it's like I said, whoever going to make the least mistakes in this session will end up getting it.
Verstappen made that mistake, didn't they, when he came in the pits?
Well,
where he was going quick.
Yeah, part of me says that, but then part of me also thinks that he might have been going faster as well.
Bloody hell. What's out Mercedes?
Hang on. It can't be a fix. Because Bottas has got to finish 7 points ahead of Hamilton and he's 8. Our mum's always like, whenever like it gets close, like whenever Hamilton stretches the lead, or anyone stretches the lead in the championship, they think she deliberately fixes it to close it back up again. Well, no. Well, if they did that, they should have done that halfway through the season. Well, they didn't.
No, bloody.
And plus, like, Hamilton's 6th, Bottas is 8th. It stays like that, Hamilton wins the championship.
Simple.
Yeah. So.
On yes, the FIA wants to come in and dot Hamilton points for no reason and penalties.
Well, to be honest, actually, if he got another penalty, he'd be docked the race already.
He'd be banned, I think.
Yeah, he'd be banned for
1 race.
I don't know whether that it's like that gets reset next season.
Yeah, I think it'll be reset next season.
Yeah, like the yellow cards in football. So, but even then, I mean, that's only 1 Grand Prix out of 3, and you really think Mercedes are going to bottle it in Bahrain?
Nah.
I mean, I know they got Bottas, but bottle it, you know what I mean?
I'm looking at Perez there. In a Red Bull suit, it'll look so good.
I think the opportunity with McLaren, it came too early. But then to be fair, that car was so poor.
Yeah, it was so
He was competing with Button, right? And you take him out the team before, I think it was before the end of the season, or even towards at the end of the season. And I'm like, well, he's competing with Button, and your car's 2 seconds low because it's shit.
Yes, I mean,
right?
McLaren is still a big team, obviously, but
even then, as well, is that McLaren turned to shit in 2013. And that same year, as Hamilton then moved to Mercedes, Mercedes started winning races.
Bloody hell, Mark Webber, the horse interviewed, I think.
But hey, mate.
If I'm thinking of the right one, yeah,
Yeah.
the F1 drive, not the bloody some random diesel with the same name.
Should get Murray Walker. Murray Walker. Right. He's like not. He's 90. That was 2013. He was 90. 97 now.
So the Mercedes haters be happy.
Oh yeah, well they'll all start tweeting now. They didn't get told. No. So what? Right.
There'll be one fetch over
Well,
it.
technically they did get polled. They just did it with last year's car
Yeah,
with a different and just painted it pink. It is, isn't it?
It's true point.
Apart from the brake ducts, it is literally a Mercedes car.
It's like when Mercedes
That's what I
changes that.
tweet to them. Is that they'll wind them up no end.
It's like when Mercedes changed that Piat car, yeah, the Piat skin colour. It's from the silver. He said he's just done with the silver one. Here, we'll just paint it pink.
Yeah.
Perez and Stroll, here, here's your new car.
But I think the thing is that the Verstappen lovers will be jumping up for joy as well. He's saying like, "Oh, Verstappen's better than Hamilton." No. Right? Yeah. Well, Hamilton's proved it on a number of occasions in the wet that he can do. So, right?
I think Verstappen will still fancy his chances tomorrow, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's like I said. I'm not too focused, and I think the main focus really ain't sort of
Hamilton.
towards is the main focus is towards where Bottas finishes compared to Hamilton, because that's where the championship lies. So the amount of times people saying he's like Max has been quick enough to as quick as Hamilton.
Yeah.
Right. If that's the case, you should be out driving that car and still be in contention for the title.
I mean, Jan Stroll, he's been getting some hate, hasn't he, from some F1 fans saying, what's the point of him being in F1 because he's only in there because of his dead father. Well, the short of this season, hasn't it?
In 2017, he got a podium, and that was his first season.
Yeah, I mean, and for this season, got podium in that crazy race in Italy. I think it's in Italy where Dadsy won. It was Dadsy, Sainz, and Squall. And he's on pole here.
Yeah.
He's not a chance.
And there's how many drivers have come and not even made an impression?
Well,
so there you are. I mean, you will go on about that with Stroll, but then Hulkenberg has been in since 2010, and he hasn't got one podium.
Yeah, I think 2010.
He should have won it in 20. He should have won the Brazilian Grand Prix in 2012. To be honest, it was between him and Hamilton for that race.
I remember that. Yeah. I was jumping with joy at the start when Vettel spun. I was like, "What has happened? What has happened?" And
do you know what? And that's the thing as well. McLaren that season had the fastest car. That was the fastest package in 2012. I'm not Red Bull, right? But their reliability and their mistakes in the pit lane, which usually always seem to happen when Hamilton was boxing, not Button, right? Because whenever Button stopped, it was perfect, right? Every time that Hamilton stopped, there was a loose tire, or it wouldn't stick, or it wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that. Plus the reliability, such as Singapore as well, it cost him another title. So 2012 he should have won it. 2007 he should have won it. In 2016 he should have won it.
And don't forget Hamilton won a few races in 2012 as well. Canada, I think Canada was one of them.
Well, that's what I'm saying. 2012 he should have quite easily been ahead of Vettel, or at least challenging him at the end of the season.
Remember that start to the season we had 7 or 8 different winners.
So 7 different winners.
Past Maldonado, one-hit wonder in Spain.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then he collides in with Hamilton and puts Hamilton in a wall. Yeah, but it's not my fault. Yeah, well, you're off the circuit, mate. So whose fault is it?
There's another race for Hamilton
Oh no,
where he got fucked over.
right. So, but yeah, I mean,
Are you actually?
hang on. Oh, Verstappen's not happy. Oh, come on, mate. Seriously, it's not like you've lost the bloody title. Get over yourself.
Oh my god!
Oh my lord.
I can't believe that.
I mean, seriously, I'm sitting here to think I can't get.
Could
I
Kimi
can't.
Raikkonen be even happier than that?
I mean, seriously. I mean, like, it's not like you've just lost the world title to frigging Hamilton or Bottas or anyone else, right?
I mean,
Like, it's a pole position, and you're second behind Perez. You're second behind. Like, I can get Russell's frustration just there with Imola, right? Because that's a stupid mistake, right? Like, oh, do you remember that? And yeah, and then, but I mean, seriously, you're moaning about being second behind a racing point that you know you are faster than, and will probably outdo into turn one. So what? You didn't get pole position, right? In the end, who does everyone look back to? Who won the race, right?
Okay.
I mean, seriously, get over yourself. And maybe if you start taking your own criticisms, right, and start focusing on your own performances, like Leclerc does, you won't be so upset with yourself.
It's his own fault. He was done quick on the wet tyres before he pitted, and obviously
it was in between.
Obviously, we don't know if he still would have got pole because Stroll was quick.
Yeah, Stroll produced an almighty lap,
but why is he mourning? You're on the front wall, turn one. I think you can outdo Jan Stroll in turn one.
Well, yeah, you'll probably get him by the end of turn one down the back straight because you're so much quicker. I mean, seriously, I wouldn't be moaning. Like, yeah, okay, I think you're pole. Okay, right. And plus,
you're not.
Yeah,
Hamilton.
you know what? I think he's upset because he thinks he thinks he's going to turn up and break every single record in F1. Well, no, mate. It don't work like that.
It's not happening. Not bloody happening.
Right. I mean, it don't work like that. Right?
If we're talking about records, Lewis Hamilton, miles away. He's out planet Earth on another planet.
Right, at the minute, you're not going to be able to set records whilst Hamilton's in Formula One. Simple as that. So just focus on like winning races, right? So what? Who got pole position? Right. In the end, it's where you finish. It's where you finish at the end by the end of Sunday.
Lewis Hamilton, he doesn't mourn. He doesn't mourn if he doesn't get pole. Even if he's behind Bottas, he knows.
I can get like Singapore, like and Japan in 2010, where you found him like sort of like having to just take a moment to himself, right? Or say Monaco 2015, where they basically took him out of the race with when he should have won it. But even then, is that those moments he's fighting for a world championship, right? Verstappen, you're not fighting for a championship, mate.
He's miles away.
So live with it.
I mean, Bottas, even he's miles away
Right,
from Hamilton.
I'll be thinking, right, second, right, I've got 2 racing points. The Mercedes are 6th and 8th. Right, I'll be like, thank you very much. Right.
And what's he mourning about? You need to close the gap on Bottas as well. depending on what he does tomorrow.
Mm.
Verstappen should be thinking to himself, win the race.
Yeah.
Just worry about yourself.
Yeah.
Worry what happens with Bottas and Hamilton.
Yeah. Just focus on your own race because their race has got nothing to do with you. Right? And their race is going to be like behind you by the time they probably catch them up, right? Unless they have an extraordinary lap on the start, right? It probably means that I mean, look, Hamilton, is he moaning? No, right? So what? Yeah, but by the end of the first, unless they have a massive first lap where they gain some positions, they're going to be about 10, 12 seconds behind you by the time they get past the traffic, because what's in front of them is basically traffic.
Yeah, Hamilton knows. He knows. One race away from being champion.
He just knows he's just got to finish sixth or fifth.
Or finish above. Yeah, fifth or sixth.
All he's got to do is worry about what he's doing. All he's got to do is just, like, even if it meant he let Bottas through, he'd probably let Bottas through anyway, right? He probably would, right? So, yeah, because even if he finished, because even if he let Bottas through and then Bottas won the race, right, and then Verstappen retired and then he ended up second, right? He knows that will still give him the title anyway. So,
to be honest, I thought the championship was won races ago.
but even then, even if Hamilton finished third and it went on to the next race, it makes it even harder then for Bottas to try and claw it back because he's finished third and he hasn't lost 25 points to him, because the way it stays at the minute is only due if Hamilton retires and Bottas finishes first.
But that's one of the worst moments I've ever seen. Verstappen, pretty sulking like a kid, little child.
Yeah. Right, do you know what? I'll be all straight over this role. So well done. And that's what just winds me up with Verstappen. It's all about him.
It's all about him. Lewis Hamilton, he'll go straight to 12.
Same as Vettel went straight to Hamilton when he won the title.
Yeah, Vettel
in both
well.
races, in both championships. Right, that's why I've liked the battle between Hamilton and Vettel, because it's hard, but it's always been fair.
I bet you if Verstappen is in a championship race, in a race for the title, I bet you if he uses, he doesn't go straight to the driver who wins it.
Yeah.
AKA Hamilton.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna get some lunch because I'm starving anyway. So after all that,
PM451 for that.
Yeah. But thanks for coming on, mate. As always, you're welcome anytime. And thanks for everyone who's tuned in. Until then, we will see you guys for tomorrow for race day. Hopefully it'll be another it looks like to be an exciting Grand Prix.
Hopefully it goes ahead.